Hey guys, Greg Rowley here. I had a really good conversation with a client of mine last week, and she said you should share this because she hadn't heard it before. So I thought I'd share this stuff. She couldn't understand why, with previous coaches, that her manifestations, her law of attraction, her abundance, her wealth, her relationships, vision boards, um, yeah, manifestation techniques, affirmations, all that stuff just wasn't working for her. She had no idea, and when she's exhausted, she was tired. She had all this stuff up. She had all these quantum business coaches and quantum coaches, doing this, this stuff, these doing things. She's like, I'm not getting anywhere, I'm not getting anywhere, and I don't know why. And I explained to her there's a reason why, and it's quite simple actually. So basically, she's here. I'm good at drawing stick figures. And what they were coaching her in is you have to try and get here, set the big goals, become this person over here. We've got to get to this person. So what they would do is set a list of tasks, things that they have to do to get to that point, very linear kind of stuff. So if I take on all these tasks and then I get to here, then I will reach the outcome and I will be happy. So there'll be affirmations, meditations, vision boards, some law of attraction, vibrational things. There'll be stuff in like ice baths and YouTube videos and doing this and doing that, right? So there are a lot of different tasks to get there. So it's mapped out for her, right? And there's a trap with this, is because as we know, human beings are filled with limitations, right? And it's great that some people want to focus on that and going forward, and sometimes it does work sometimes through sheer willpower, but unless you remove any of this stuff's useless, right? Absolutely useless, because this is where you live, in the limitations of your subconscious mind. And some coaches get this. Like, some coaches really down the path of going, identifying the subconscious mind stuff and going, there's limitations that's in the way, to be hypnotherapy and all that kind of stuff. But they still work in this linear motion that says, I need to become someone different. I need to become someone else. And there's a secret. And this goes back to esoteric teachings, goes back to your law of one stuff, your Ra stuff, Neville Goddard stuff. It goes into the Hermetic principles, goes into your three principles, your Sydney Bank stuff. There's a lot of teachings and writings about this stuff, right? So the trick is that you don't need to go anywhere. You are actually a spiritual being who already has everything you need. You've just forgotten. And what's in the way of all these things is limitations, but they're all stories. They're all made up. They're all just thoughts. And what these ancient mystery teachings, sacred teachings, mystery school teachings, whatever you want to call it, what they actually do is they help you realize that this is just an illusion. It's just a thought. It's not real. It's made up. And somehow you've believed it. So what the spiritual aspect side of things does is reverse engineer it to help you go backwards to realize who you truly are is an infinite being. You've already got health, wealth, love, abundance, prosperity, freedom, peace, because that's who you are naturally. You are an infinite being who has all that stuff. You've just forgotten. But what most coaches do is keep you in this three-dimensional world, and you've got to keep doing things to get to an outcome which is external. And if you're tied to an external outcome to make you happy, you'll never be happy, because when this external thing changes, you go back to square one and go, what do I need to fix? Somehow I'm wrong again. I failed. I didn't do good enough. My marriage broke up. All that kind of stuff, right? And you're back in this loop of having to go back there and do things to get there. And it's exhausting, completely exhausting. And the way to really, break free of this stuff is to go back and, reverse engineer it and go down the spiritual aspect of realizing that you are already this. You are already this infinite being, and you have access to that. And when you realize that these are just stories made up by mind and made up by thoughts, and that we live in the reality of our thoughts, not our circumstances, because this model here says that we live in the experience of our circumstances. Something happens to us and we feel something. And that's very much a victim mentality. But what this does realize is that we are an experience of our thoughts. Reality only exists because we think. And what we think creates our reality. So if we're thinking junk, we'll get junk. But if you start to realize who you truly are, that's where reality changes. So she was blown away by this. She's like, I wonder why I was exhausted. Yeah, because you try and do this shit and it doesn't work. And if you do the easy option, the simple option, but it's quite mind-blowing, is you start to dissolve the stories of who you think you are, realize who you truly are, and that's when the breakthrough happens. That's when your spiritual awakening happens, is realizing you are an infinite being and to step in that place. And then you can create from there, because most people are creating here from, I don't want to be lonely, I don't want to be fat, I don't want to be alone, I don't want to be poor, I don't want to be unhealthy. So they're trying to become something because they're trying to escape a negative. When you come down this path here, you realize that you are that. You're not trying to chase this stuff. That's where manifestation fails for people, is because they keep trying to create the ideal life, but trying to move away from a negative. I'm trying to be popular because I was bullied as a child, so I want to be Instagram famous. They'll be famous, but they'll be empty, right? So it's coming back this way to realize that life is just a construct of your mind. It's purely thought. And thoughts come and go, and your identity, your true identity, is infinite freedom, infinite love, infinite wealth, infinite abundance. And once you tap into that world, then everything changes. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you've got any questions or you've got any comments, or I rambled on a bit too much, you want more of this stuff, I'm happy to show you, because this shit's gold and it's not hard to do once you get it. And this shit's exhausting and it'll keep you trapped. And there's a lot of coaches teaching this shit, and a lot of, let's say, spiritual coaches who are, let me say, ex-advertising agents or ex-marketing agents teaching this crap, who have no depth. This is the real way. This is the real way to freedom and peace and harmony and joy and vitality, because that's who you truly are. And I know some people won't get this, because unless you believe in the spiritual aspect, you're not going to get it. Keep doing that. All good. Go for it. But those of you who want to tap into that, you're breaking the limitations. It's actually a breakthrough moment. And once you break through, you can't see life any different. It's like once you've seen something, you can't unsee it. So yeah, if you want more stuff like this, more than happy to do this stuff to help you realize the true nature of reality and true nature of healing, and what you can do and what you're available to. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I will catch you in the next video.